I bought an 80-year-old lady's entire collection of craft supplies, and we're opening bin number 28. I hear some jingling and it's stuck. Okay, there we go. What is making all this noise? I don't know. Bells? These don't even, they look like jewelry. There's actually bells here though. Look, there's some Christmas bells, but that's not what's making all this ruckus. I can already tell this is gonna be a nice mix of stuff. Okay, these aren't making the noise, but there's a bunch of these beads in here. Oh, it's just these hitting each other. I don't even think they're supposed to make that noise. Thought we were gonna find a bell or a wind chime or something. There's some red clear tape, the remnants of a tape runner, and some silver string of some sort. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie. I own a secondhand art and craft supply shop called Bottom of the Bin. We're located in Tampa Bay, Florida, and customers can trade in supplies that they no longer want in order to get store credit. That way we can keep prices affordable and keep art accessible for our community. But in this series, I made a one-time exception and purchased an 80-year-old crafter's entire house full of craft supplies. It's her lifetime collection. There was over 5 rooms full. We've got over 50 of these bins and we're opening them one bin at a time. So we're a little over halfway through our series. This is my favorite tape runner, by the way. And going through these every day has literally felt like Christmas, especially because many of them are full of Christmas items, as you saw before, including this cute little nutcracker ribbon. Clear casting epoxy. Interesting. I can already tell this is a mixed bin, and the reason that this happened is we actually ran out of bins when we were packing everything up, and so towards the end we just started throwing things in wherever they fit. So that's why some of this is super organized and some of it is chaotic. We're responsible for the chaos, not the crafter we bought them from. Ooh, there's belt buckles in here and broken jewelry. That's kind of fun. This will probably end up on our eBay store. We do have an eBay store if you're not local. You can find the link at bottomofthebin.com, and we ship anywhere in the world. While you're there, make sure to check out the links for our other socials because we have the full videos on YouTube if you're watching anywhere else. But before anything goes to eBay, we actually have introduced recently the bin of the day. So we will put everything out from this bin for the following 2 days after the video is posted. That way our local customers have a chance to come in, check out the bin of the day table and get what they want. And then after those 2 days is when we start to like sprinkle it through the store, put stuff on eBay or put stuff in storage if we just have way too much of it. That way our local customers get a chance to kind of grab things first. So keep an eye on eBay for things to trickle through if you have your eye on something. Speaking of eye, look at these peacock feathers. Look at those eyes. That's so cool. There was a whole bunch of florals too that I'm just not going to really get the opportunity to film because we're kind of picking through them and putting them out on the sales floor as we need them. But if you go back and watch like the very first video where I talked about getting this collection, you can see just how many baskets and containers were full of artificial flowers. There is some decoupaging napkins, and Bob, our friend, is here hiding in one of the bins, of course. Everyone say hello to Bob. I know he's the star of the show, not me. There are a ton of bells in this bin. Oh my gosh. And ooh, what's this? I see pretty rainbow, and it is premium ribbon. It looks like not ribbon though. It looks like string. So yeah, I don't know. What a pretty collection of colors. Maybe it's for jewelry making. Maybe it's cord. I don't really know. Let me know what you would do with it. It does say premium ribbon punches. Okay, that's not what's in there. Yeah, I don't know. More cord, I guess, if you know what any of this is. I think that's for like, I don't know, knitting? I actually don't know. I don't know the sewing. We call it the sewing section, but any type of like fiber art goes over there. That is just not something I've ever really learned. I probably should, but we have a staff member whose sole job is to price all of this stuff. More bells. We definitely have to have another Christmas in July sale this year just because of all this stuff. Ooh, this is sparkly and pretty glitter tape. Wait, is it actually tape? I don't know if it's actually tape or if it's just ribbon, but I absolutely love those colors. Look at that. Ooh, these are kind of shiny too. And then there's more of that ribbon tape. A giant bag of cotton balls. I'm sure those come in handy. This looks like maybe a cut up t-shirt that was used for something. Oh my gosh, this is heavy. Steel bench block. Solid base for work while flattening, straightening, and designing. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's literally a steel block. I guess it's to like hold paper down while it's drying or something. I'm not sure. All right, there's 2 more containers in here. This one has some peel and stick tape. Oh my gosh, this is heavy. If I was still in my jewelry making phase, y'all, I would be so happy with this. I mean, I did make jewelry, but not necessarily like just jewelry. So sometimes I would take things apart and like re-put them together in a configuration I liked. But I had a huge collection of costume jewelry and junk jewelry that I would use for all sorts of things. I would cut them up and make mixed media canvases. I would decorate the covers of journals. I would make mermaid hair accessories, cover mirrors. I once made this super cool steampunk flower bouquet made of all vintage buttons and brooches for one of my friends for her wedding. Trying to think what else, but I mean, I definitely had all sorts of uses, and I had to source them all from flea markets and estate sales, garage sales, church sales, things like that. I was the type of person who would walk up to a table of junk jewelry and say, how much for the whole table? And so I had a pretty decent collection. I have since sold it throughout the years, and I actually haven't rebuilt it. So, you know, there's not much use for these for me anymore. One thing I have kept is my brooch collection, but that, ooh, look at that. How freaking pretty. Look, I don't know if you can see, but they look like bells or something. Like little, oh my gosh, so pretty. Speaking of pretty, that one is gorgeous. I might need to hang on to that just because I do collect some costume jewelry. I have a very, very tiny collection and then a huge collection of brooches and pins. Basically, they're vintage pins that I've been collecting my whole life since I was a little kid. My dad would take me to flea markets and such, and we would pick out all of my favorites, which were usually flowers or animals. Last count, I had over 1,000 of them. So that's how serious I am about my costume jewelry. Besides that, I just have a few pieces that I couldn't part with. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. It's just a single earring, but hey, it matches my shirt. Just a couple of little jewelry sets I couldn't part with of stuff that I just found absolutely beautiful. Oh, that's really cute too. It's like a little pink earring. Now, most of this jewelry is going to end up on our eBay shop in forms of junk bags, and that's because they don't really sell well in our store, which kind of surprised me because we actually started at the flea market. Before we had our brick and mortar, we had a little shop at the local flea market, and junk jewelry bags were our #1 seller. Like, we honestly couldn't even keep these in stock. We just kept running out of them. And so I thought they'd be a big seller in our store, but turns out they were not. So after it's in the bin of the day on our table in our shop for the first couple days to show it to our local customers, you can most likely look out for this on our eBay shop, which can be found at bottomofthebin.com. Oh my gosh, it's a seahorse. I'm like obsessed with seahorses. How freaking cute. It looks like somebody made him. And then there's a bunch of just like mostly loose clip-on earrings and glitter at the bottom of this one. And this final box has a bunch of cord, lime cotton braiding cord. We have some leather, or I don't know if it's real leather, flat braided leather sold by the foot from artbeads.com. We've got some embroidery floss, at least I think that's what this is. Some leather lace cording. So I assume a lot of this is for our jewelry makers. There's a bunch of these in here, including a lot of these braided ones. There is some purple cording. That one is wax cord. There's so many different kinds. I literally don't even know what they are. What a fun, colorful bin. Ooh, that orange color is really nice too. There's some brown. That one's very soft. I know a tiny bit about leather because I used to make like leather wrap bracelets that were really pretty. I used to find a lot of them at the Renaissance Festival and just started making my own. But that's about the extent of my leather knowledge. Super fun. Well, that'll do it for bin number 28. Make sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss the next unbinning.